full moon.
Gentlemen!
Winning here in Phoenix. Saturday night's all right. Winning here in Phoenix. Winning here in Phoenix.
Oh, trouble big time.
Winning here in Phoenix.
You are the man. Oh, trouble big time.
Saturday night's all right. Saturday night's all right.
Under a full moon.
Winning here in Phoenix. Saturday night's all right.
You are the man.
Race number 7 of the 2010 Sprint Cup season brings us to the Valley of the Sun and the Phoenix International Raceway. Between the Gila River and the Australia Mountains sits one fast mile of asphalt in a unique oval that includes a bend on the backstretch. Originally designed for open-wheel cars, Phoenix is now a diamond in the desert for NASCAR racing. Points leader Jimmy Johnson and 4-time champ won the last time here, and he's the most recent winner on the Sprint Cup Series is Denny Hamlin, and he has some hard choices to make today. Race with pain or give up his seat. And after a well-deserved weekend off, the Sprint Cup Series is back and on track in the Southwest. Every fan lives for race day, and today it is survival of the fittest in Phoenix. Hello everyone and welcome to the Phoenix International Raceway and NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. It is hot, it is sunny, and we're ready for a Saturday night shootout that starts in the day and ends in the night. Glad you're with us, everybody. I'm John Roberts alongside of Kyle Petty and race car driver Kenny Wallace. The idea is still the same here. Go fast, last, and win the race, but we're starting a little earlier, and the race is now longer.
Race fans, this is my start to the season. Why? It's summertime, baby. 90 degrees. I'm sweating. The drivers are in their cars, and they're going to have to face the sun. This race starts early. The sun's going to be in their face, and they're going to be saying to themselves, David Bowie's song. He's going to be saying, changes. I mean, it's going to be changes all night long. Kyle, starting the day, end of the night, sun in your face, what more?
Right, and here's the deal. This is the first race and the first true test of the spoiler. The wing is gone. It went away at Martinsville, but nobody really cared about it at Martinsville. But here on this flat, slick racetrack, it's already affected qualifying. If you look at the qualifying order and how the change that Kenny sang about so eloquently has affected the racetrack, as the racetrack changes, it's going to be a big deal tonight.
A lot of big deals going on in the garage area. Everybody is measuring their success right now by where they sit in the points. If you're in the top 12, you're good. If not, you got work to do. For more on that, let's go inside the racetrack and join Wendy Venturini and Hermie Sadler. Guys, take it away.
Good afternoon, Johnny. And as the sun is just now starting to settle down on the East Coast, we're enjoying 90-degree temps here on pit road. But let's take a look at our championship standings coming into this race at Phoenix. Jimmy Johnson, yes, folks, you guessed it, is our points leader. Don't adjust your televisions. He took over after Martinsville, and Greg Biffle also moved up 2 spots.
Yeah, look at the 4th place point standard right now, Wendy. Kevin Harvick, he had the points lead heading into Martinsville, but some brake issues put him behind the wall and out of that top spot.
Now, if you take a look, 5 through 12, our top 12. Jeff Gordon was the big mover and shaker, moving up 4 spots. But, man, there are some other changes towards that bottom 12.
Yeah, look at 11 and 12, Wendy. A big surprise this year. Paul Menard has been consistent and very impressive this year. And Brian Vickers finally made his way back to the top 12 after making the chase last year. He has struggled so far in 2010.
And take a look who's in that catbird seat. Well, it's Joey Logano in that 13th spot. Everybody wants to get in that top 12, and with his 2nd place finish at Martinsville, he's getting closer and closer to that. Also want to point out Denny Hamlin in 15th. Now, keep in mind, Denny Hamlin racing with that injury and could possibly have that replacement with Casey Mears.
Yeah, and look down a little bit further. Martin currently sits in 17th. He's a defending race winner of this race last year. He needs a good run tonight. And also, Casey Kane had big hopes for him switching to Ford this year with Richard Petty Motorsports. So far this season, he sits in 20th, Wendy.
Now, keep in mind, folks, We start an hour earlier today. Well, what does that mean? Well, we've also extended our race by 63 laps. We used to have 312 laps here at Phoenix. Now, today, 375. Our green flag is going to be about an hour earlier, sunset shortly before 7 o'clock here on the West Coast, but our checkered flag time is about 30 minutes later than what it used to be, Hermie. And really, when you look at that finish time, this plays a big factor into the drivers and the crew chiefs. Now, because we added some time to the race and we're starting earlier, this could play into some key factors.
It really could, but I really think from the driver's standpoint, I don't think it matters. When they drop the green flag, the drivers are going to go. When they wave the checkered flag, the race will be over. These guys are going to race. Even with more laps, this is a racetrack you cannot afford to wait. You have to go every lap on this racetrack. But for the crew chiefs, Wendy, when you change the time of the day and the amount of laps, it could really play into how they plan their strategy for this event.
And that especially happens on pit road by adding 63 laps. We used to have a 3-stop race here. Today, that's not going to be the case. They're going to have to stop one more time.
At least one more pit stop. And as we saw last night here in the Nationwide Series race, anytime you come on pit road here at Phoenix, you could have trouble. Look at Justin Allgaier. He gets turned on pit road, ruined a good night for him. Watch race leader Joey Logano at the time. He comes down pit road, him and his teammate, the 18, boom, contact on pit road, ruins Joey Logano's chance at victory. Kyle Busch was able to come back and win. So anytime you come on pit road here, you're looking at the possibility of losing a lot of track position, which at this racetrack could be very, very detrimental.
Well, I think for the drivers, it's really not going to matter in that driver's seat. They're going for the checkered flag. However, Johnny, for these crew chiefs, they really have a tough job by adding this pit stop and taking probably the part of fuel strategy out of the window.
Well, Wendy, that's why they make the big bucks. The pressure is on today because we got a little bit of a different story, but the other idea is just the same. And guys, the last couple tracks we raced on, there wasn't much real estate. We call this a 1-mile super speedway, but still there's not too much super when it comes to the size of it.
Every driver loves this racetrack at Phoenix. It has so many different situations. I believe Larry McReynolds and Darrell Waltrip have named this a Roval, R-O-V-A-L. I believe that's the way I spell it. It's a road course. It's a circle track. Turns 1 and 2 way difference than turns 3 and 4. You go down the back straightaway, you're having to turn left to go down the straightaway. This is a unique racetrack, Kyle. So many different grooves.
So many different grooves. You'll see guys in the nationwide race. Carl took the high groove. A lot of guys run right on the bottom. But I think Hermie brought up one of the most interesting points. We're adding one more pit stop, and pit road is incredibly dangerous at this place. For whatever reason, it's really wide. It's not that issue, but it goes down the front stretch, and it turns like at Martinsville. So those guys that pit in pit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're going around a blind corner where people are pulling out in front of them. And that can be critical to whether you get in, whether you get out, whether you don't get hit, whether you do get hit, whether you get spun out. It's going to be a big night on pit road.
And two factors when you have a dangerous pit road. Also double file restarts as well as the green-white checker rule. Now, they want to end this thing under green, and we could see some equipment get torn up by the time the night is done.
And JR, it's a good point. Race fans, I can't look you in an eye and tell you enough. This is about you, the fans. We have double file shootout. We have making sure we're going to end these races under the green. And then I say to Phoenix Racetrack, why did you make it longer? They said, for the fans. So we're trying this longer race for you, the fans, sitting home in the seat. One more beer for you, so be careful.
Kenny, these guys can get a lot more than one more beer in 63 extra laps. And we got a beautiful evening for racing here. The sun is starting to go down a little bit later these days, and it will be going down by the end of this race. Stick with us on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. When we come back, we'll talk to one driver who has some big choices to make this afternoon.
While Denny took checkered a few weeks back, he wasn't the only story in Virginia. We're heading back to Martinsville to show you how the clip was conquered. Heading your way, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by Napa Know-How, and by the General Automobile Insurance Services. For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix International Race Day, a NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. You know, it was 2 weekends ago that in Virginia that two natives of the Commonwealth went door-to-door battling for the victory at Martinsville. It was Denny Hamlin who came out on top after a wild 100 laps.
The
11 thought he was better that last run than he'd been, and it took him a little longer. Honestly, I think we were a touch better than we were the time before, just comparing to that, because he was saying he was better than he was.
50 to go, Jeff. 50 to go.
Remember, Richard Childress racing across the board, winless in 2009. He's going to take another look, getting into one. Hamlin slams the door.
That's just right where you want to be, though. Right where you just...
We got a tire going out. Your right front flat, I don't know what it is.
The 31's having problems back there. He's dropped way back. One's got a right front going flat, it looks like. 18 Challenger for second.
Jeff Burton just trying to hang on. There's no way he's going to be able to hold off Gordon, and now it's flat. It's all the way down on the rim, slides up the track, smacks the safer barrier in turn number 3, keeps the car pointed, but the right front tire has finally gone away for Jeff Burton. Now, what makes this caution very interesting is you know, it's a no-brainer for the top 8 to 10. You know, we're going to get restarted with probably less than 5 to go. You've got what you got. Just make sure you get them cleaned off.
To go, 18 cars on the lead lap. You got 65 laps on those tires. I think tires are going to do it. What do you think? 2-4.
He's coming, and so is Kyle Busch.
My gosh.
Both the Gibbs cars give up the first 2 spots to come to pit lane.
No way.
But you know the deal here. If you take the white, it's over. If we don't, we can do it up to 3 times.
A lap and a half to go.
Too little, too late.
Going to be harder from here.
Yep.
Matt Kenseth in 3rd, Newman 2nd, Gordon trying to win his...
Kyle Busch is sideways.
One more time, not just smooth.
That's going to bring the caution out.
Caution's out. It should have been a white citation. They didn't give it to us. We're going to do this again.
I would feel good for Hamlin if he was on the inside. I just don't know, unless something happens where he can dive to the inside and get behind Jeff Gordon, then he's got a chance.
They bang hard, and here comes Kenseth, 3 wide to the bottom. Kenseth to the inside, takes the lead. He's got a tire down. He goes to the outside and hits the wall, and Denny Hamlin takes the lead.
It all worked out perfectly for Denny Hamlin. He scores his first win of the year here at Martinsville Speedway.
What a call. Mike Ford, you are the man.
I mean, we are feet away from the white flag. Good job, guys. 10-4, it's good to be mad. We're going to win them, bud. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to win them. Drove a hell of a race.
Man, what a shot. Denny Hamlin in victory lane at Martinsville. I know you love that, but before we talk about today, tell us about those last 3 or 4 laps at Martinsville, some of the best racing we've ever seen there.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable to get to the lead in just 4 green flag laps from 9th position, especially on a half-a-mile racetrack. That was just, it was unbelievable. But having those tires really helped, and you know, we made a gutsy call, and luckily it all worked out in the end.
Another gutsy call you made was to go ahead and have your knee surgery here in the middle of the season. I know it's been the question of the weekend for you guys. Number one, how was the knee, and how do you think you'll make out tonight? A little bit longer race than we've had here in the past.
Well, I've gotten to stay off of my feet today, you know, which is really good, and that's what's going to hopefully give me the endurance to go a little bit longer. And you know, yesterday I ran 50, 70 laps or so, and I'd had about enough. So we'll see.
Well, there's going to be a lot going on. Casey, what's going on?
I think he's looking a little rough. I think he's going to run about 10 laps or so, and then I might have to hop in there.
So you're going to finish this interview like you may finish the race. You're going to finish this interview. First of all, good to have you back at the racetrack. And how's it been so far? I know you got some laps on the racetrack yesterday. Tell us about it.
It's been good. You know, I mean, it's been a great opportunity to be a part of this team and just kind of, you know, see how they do things. And obviously, just, you know, the big concern is hopefully that Denny can run the whole day. If he can, obviously, I'll be watching and be there towards the end of the race if he needs me even then. But you know. Hopefully we can find out sooner and later exactly what's going to happen, and you know, hopefully we can just have a good day. For obviously, another one thing that they're pretty proud of is that they got the March Dimes on this weekend, and you know, it's good to have those guys here.
Well, tell us a little bit about, I know driver comfort is very important. How's it been between you two guys in the car as far as changing stuff around? Could you fit right in perfectly?
Yeah, it's actually been pretty good. I mean, we did a pretty good job of making a small insert that fits right in the bottom of the seat, and the belts were a little loose for me, and I was a little bit too low in the car, so that insert makes the belts tight, and it gets me the right height in the car, and based off yesterday, the little bit of running that we got to do, I think Denny and I were feeling a lot of the same things, so it'll be good. You know, if I do end up getting in, it'll be, you know, a good correlation between what he likes and what I like, and we can hopefully make the car get better from there.
And one more for you, Denny, before we let you go. What will be the deciding factor tonight is whether you get out or stay in the car?
I think it'll be, you know, somewhere around lap 50. If we get a long run, that was the biggest thing for me is when we had a long run, the fatigue factor. I didn't feel like at the end I was doing 100% or doing my best. So, you know, I got to just make sure, you know, mentally I do the right thing. I want to be tough, but I got to be smart on the same sentence. So just got to do what we can, and I should know early.
And if you do have to get out, where will you watch the race from?
Well, if I get out, more than likely I'll go back and ice for a little while, but I definitely want to see it from the pit box because I've gotten to watch a few races from the pit box, and you can learn more from that position than you can anywhere else. So it's hard for to be an armchair person being in the bus. I'd like to be out there.
Well, it's going to take a team effort from everybody involved to make this thing work. And we want to clarify for the fans, Denny will start the race. He'll get the points regardless. And Denny started this interview. So, Casey, although you were here, you do not get credit for this interview on race day. Back to you, Johnny.
That's good.
Hermie, thanks a lot. In the past, we've seen drivers step out of their race cars because of injuries, and it's probably one of the most gut-wrenching things you have to do as a driver because you don't want to give up your seat. But at the same time, Denny summed it up pretty well. Here's a guy who has been in the chase for the championship. Every year he's raced at the Cup level, but he summed it up. He said, man, I got to be smart as well.
Denny Hamlin's car owner is Coach Joe Gibbs, Super Bowl championship coach. You always hear these athletes say, I got to play hurt. Yes, that's true. But Denny is a young race car driver, still in his late 20s, I don't know, but he's still a very young person. So Denny cannot ruin his career. See, if he hurts and bangs that knee up, it can extend this injury. So yet, you hear it in football, baseball, play through an injury. Don't do that when you're real young. He can win some championships down the road. Take care of that knee.
Yeah, he needs to take care of the knee. But the one thing that he came out of the interview, too, is I can be tough, but I got to be smart, and that this is a team sport. If he can give the team 100%, he's going to set his butt in that race car and drive the wheels off of it. If he feels like he's given that team 99%, he's going to get out, and he's going to put Casey in the car. The interesting thing is this. You know how these seats are now. You still drive. You know how these seats are. They're made for Denny Hamlin. And you heard Casey say, had to put that insert in. So it tightens the belts up. It's not built for Casey Mears. That car is not Casey's car. He's just sitting in that seat. His job is to run the race. It's a Denny Hamlin car, and that's going to be a funny thing to see how they adjust there.
Yeah, and if you have to put Denny out of that car, they got a pretty good backup plan in Casey Mears. Let's go down now and join Wendy Venturini.
We've all had a week off, but of course we come into Phoenix following that Martinsville race, and you know everybody's been asking you, and I hate to put myself in that position, but have you had any discussions with Jeff Gordon since that Martinsville incident?
Yeah, we talked for a little bit. So, I mean, it was, I was just happy to see the leaders last lap at Martinsville. So I was really happy with how we ran. Todd and them guys did a great job. We got our car handling really good there. It's probably my worst track, and we performed really great. So I was more than a little disappointed with our finish, and I wish I would have done a better job executing that at the end of the race. But I was really happy with how we performed.
Okay, I'm always the one to be the optimistic one. We come into Phoenix, you won here, so talk about how much you love this track.
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago, I think, so it's been a while. But we have not ran very well here since we went to the COT cars, really. And I was really encouraged with our race practice. I thought we made some really good changes. We made some changes that went the wrong way. So I thought we had a lot of stuff to look at. So hopefully our new Crown Royal Black car will handle really good tonight. It's a really long race. I think 375 laps is really going to put a different twist in the race at the end. That's a really long race for here. So I'm looking forward to getting out there tonight and hopefully keep competing good like we have been so far this year.
Now, as a driver, you're probably not going to notice the extra 63 laps, or are you?
I think we will. You know, NASCAR made a gear change, I think, for the last race last year, so we have a little less gear and it won't slow it down as much getting in the corner. I think you're going to have to pay attention to your brakes. There's really a lot going on. It's really hot today. I think it's going to be really hot and slick at the beginning of the race, and I don't think the track is going to be anything like this at the end of the race. So I think there's going to be a lot going on, and you're really going to have to stay on top of your changes and make sure you take care of your car and be there at the end.
Now, we had a different schedule this weekend with our 2 very long practice sessions yesterday. Did that play a factor into what you guys could do on the car and what you guys were trying to test out in practice session, knowing this was a different type of schedule than what we usually have?
Not really. Probably, if anything, it took away maybe a little bit from our time for qualifying. We really worked on race setup almost the whole entire time, and we ended up qualifying very good. But I don't think so. I mean, I thought it was all right. I love two-day schedules. I love Saturday night races. So I thought it was all right. I thought we learned a lot. We had a lot of stuff to sit down and look through last night with it not being an impound race because we could still work on the car today. So I think it all went all right.
All right, good luck to Matt Kenseth. It's been 8 years since he won, but nonetheless, he has won here at Phoenix. Johnny?
Wendy, thanks a lot. You can never write off driver number 17, and he starts 27th tonight. If he has a long way to go, but if anybody can get there, it is Matt Kenseth. We've got to take a quick break here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. There is the driver who is starting number 14, and Ryan Newman's got 4 poles here, but no wins from this racetrack. That could change tonight. Welcome back to Phoenix, everyone. If you want your shot at $1 million and you're a Legends racer, you can do it July 14th and 17th at Charlotte Motor Speedway. $1 million in prize money on the line. If you want more information, visit uslegendcars.com for more information. And one side note, by the way, Bruton Smith, chairman of the board over there at SMI, will join us on the stage in Texas. You won't want to miss that. And Kyle Petty, other young aspiring drivers now have a great shot at coming up through the Richard Petty driving experience, going to an academy, and they could be the next star of NASCAR.
Yeah, they're doing a driver search, and it's called PettyDriverSearch.com. If you go to PettyDriverSearch.com, they're taking 12 drivers. Marcus Ambrose, Randy LaJoy, those guys, they're going to Charlotte, they're going to Concord, they're going to Kershaw. Ambrose is going to teach them the road course stuff. I'm going to teach them some media stuff. And basically, you're going to give a guy an opportunity to run the ARCA race at Pocono on speed. And it's incredible. They're going to take these 12 drivers, you go through different steps, you learn car setup, you learn media, you learn some of the things about these different types of racetracks, and whoever wins this driver search gets to drive an actual race. So it's a pretty cool program that the driving experience has come up with.
Anybody eligible?
Yeah, you're eligible. Come on.
That's what I was getting at.
Kenny and I'll pay for you to go do it. Kenny and I, let's pay for you.
You don't want to do that.
I would just like to say something about this. We never had this opportunity.
That's right.
When I started driving in 1986, when I went to Pocono, it was my first time to Pocono. I'm like, get me out of here. Where's the next corner? So this is really a great opportunity.
And Speed is also doing a talent search of our own here. It's called Fast Track to Fame, and only Speed could put together bagpipes and the song Lowrider. Take a listen.
Come on, what are you going to say?
How could you not miss that? Anyway, you can see it Monday. Don't miss an all-new episode of Fast Track to Fame. It's the talent competition so wild it can only happen trackside. Fast Track to Fame from Phoenix International Raceway, Monday at 8 Eastern, only on Speed. Got to take a quick break here on Race Day. When we come back, we'll show you some more of the talent, the kind that's running around the racetrack. And a lot of guys are going to be looking at this guy tonight, number 88, to potentially drive to victory lane. Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix International Raceway. A couple of wispy clouds up in the sky there, but we're expecting beautiful weather this evening. Race fans, NASCAR lost a good friend this past week in legendary promoter Tom Blackwell. He was 81 years old and most famously known for the work he did at Greenville Pickens Speedway in South Carolina, site of a lot of great racing. And Tom Blackwell, you will be missed, and our thoughts are with his family this week. And now with our apologies to Mr. Ken Squire, the actual first race that was broadcast flag to flag live on TV happened on ABC Sports, and it actually came from Tom Blackwell's Greenville Pickens Speedway.
Good afternoon, this is Jim McKay. I don't know what you're doing on this Easter Saturday afternoon, but in Greenville, South Carolina, a capacity crowd of about 15,000 people is about to watch the Grand National 100-mile NASCAR stock car race. The pictures you're watching are live. What you see is happening right now, and so it will be from the green flag that starts the race to the checkered flag that marks the finish.
At 200 laps and 100 miles, the Greenville 200 at the Greenville Pickens Speedway was one of NASCAR's shortest. The broadcast was a special Wide World of Sports presentation aimed to fit into a 1.5-hour time slot at 5 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon.
The picture is live, and the car is that of Richard Petty in the pits for a scheduled pit stop, the first of any of the lead cars to make their scheduled stop for today.
All the action, bumper to bumper.
Going to pass a slower car again, driven by Ben Arnold.
Not giving him room. You see, this little fender bending there.
History in the making.
Wide World of Sports visits the big cities and the small ones around the world. And here today we're seeing NASCAR stock car racing in its native habitat. This is really where it started, in these small tracks.
The race was completed at record pace, 1 hour, 16 minutes, with just one caution, 1 round of pit stops, and a dominating performance by short track virtuoso Bobby Isaac, who wasn't even going to run that day.
Now, Isaac has been picking and choosing his races, Jim, and as of last night did not plan to compete here. He was told this morning to get down to Greenville and run. And should he win, he will get no points counting toward the national championship because he is a post-entry.
But he will get points counting towards his bank account. He gets the money if he wins.
That's right. The money will be his.
Isaac took his 4th straight win at the track while lapping the entire field.
Here it comes, the winning lap for Bobby Isaac of Catawba, North Carolina. Headed for the checkered flag, and they're giving it to him now. It's all over. Bobby Isaac has won the 100-mile race in Greenville, South Carolina.
NASCAR didn't air another flag-to-flag live broadcast until the 1979 Daytona 500. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Okay, so we've come a long way. The cars look different, but the idea is still the same. It was all for the fans.
And that was an amazing race. Did you see that Bobby Isaac wins the race and takes home $20K, $20,000.
20 grand, which would get you a set of tires now?
Yeah, it wouldn't even get your pit passes for this race now. That's what's funny about it.
And one thing they didn't say was that Jimmy Spencer finished 23rd that day. Hi,
my
Jimmy!
God.
I love you!
I'm sure he appreciates it.
And the other thing they didn't say was John Roberts did race day that day for the guys. So that's it. Thank you, John Roberts. Thank you, John Roberts.
All right, let's jump up a few years and come up to last night under the lights here at Phoenix and take a look at a great start and a great finish to the Nationwide Series race. Here we go, green flag racing at the front, and you see very well represented up there by Kyle Busch, and Kyle was a car to beat, seemed like all night long.
The Joe Gibbs cars are tough to beat. You're looking at this at Kyle Busch. Here's Mike Bliss getting tagged. I was right behind this wreck. I'm thinking, okay, Swarp, here I am, the white car right there. Barely make it through.
Now it's time to go for the restart, and under the NASCAR rules, the leader of the race, who is Kyle Busch, sets the pace for the restart. Little trickery going on there. He slows up.
Yeah, but the leader sets the pace, but you go on the green flag, and that's what they argued was the green flag was waving, so the 22 win.
So Kyle Busch, another look at there as he gets in the back. Kyle, number 22, takes the lead, but then we have mayhem behind the whole thing.
Look for something like this to happen tonight. This racetrack breeds wrecking restarts.
So wrecking on the restarts and some serious wrecking on the restarts when you're in the gas.
No place to go for these guys.
Now this is the following restart. There you see Kyle Busch on the downside of the racetrack, Brad Keselowski on the high side, and Kyle takes off.
Yeah, I think Kyle felt like he got snookered on the last one, so he was going to make sure he didn't. NASCAR didn't see it that way. Here he is penalized and coming down pit road. And everybody at this point thinks Kyle Busch's day is over.
And we should know by now, Kyle Busch's day is never over until the checkered flag waves. And there's a look at Brad Keselowski out front. Looks like this might be his night until Jacques Debris, the famous French race car driver, shows up. And here we saw what Hermie Sadler talked about a little earlier in the show, why pit road is so treacherous.
Chaos ensues. Now watch this as Justin Allgaier, boom, gets hit by Kelly Byers, spins him out. Total chaos on pit road. It can happen tonight.
And here comes a hard-charging Kyle Busch. Couple cars in his way, but that's never stopped him before.
He comes from 10th spot. Look at this. It's Joe Gibbs Racing against Penske Racing, the 22. Here, look at this. 3 wide. I feel like it's live right now. You're looking live.
So in the end, a little bobble there, and then Kyle Busch was able to take the lead and never look back as he takes yet another victory from this racetrack.
I just want to say Kyle Busch is an incredible race car driver. I will argue with you as long as you want to. This guy you're looking at right now is one of the most talented race car drivers in the history of our sport.
And that's why you never write him off, no matter what happens. It only took Denny Hamlin a couple laps last weekend at 2 weekends ago at Martinsville to come from the back. Kyle Busch seems like he can do it at any time in any series.
You know, if I'm Kyle Busch's crew chief, I want to make him mad. I want to get him down a little bit, because when he got down last night, I'm telling you, man, he made some moves coming back from 18th or 19th. And let's be real clear here. This double file restart, when you get a caution, instead of starting 10th in line, now you're 5th on the inside or outside line, no matter where that's at. And that's helped these guys come to the front. But Kyle Busch did most of that on natural talent.
And one thing Kyle Busch had him going for, and all race car drivers do, just 10 to go, let's wreck. You want to wreck? Let's wreck with 10 to go. He's not racing for points, he's going for the win.
Exactly, and that's when you see a guy like that go down a lap from a penalty on pit road. That shows us that we should watch that tonight. That can happen to your favorite driver, but don't write him off.
It's all about, you know, risk versus reward. 10 laps to go. Now if we're going to wreck, let's do it now. So that's why you take the chances. You don't do that in a long race. 100 laps in a race, you try not to go full wide. Of course, I've seen it happen.
Well, race fans, stay with us. We're looking forward to a great night here in the Valley of the Sun. Weather forecast high in the 80s, and that reminds me of some of the guys I went to school with. We'll be back with more race day in just a moment. Welcome back to Race Day, everyone. You know, in addition to the NASCAR events held in Phoenix, the area of downtown Phoenix has a large sports presence. The Arizona Cardinals are based at University of Phoenix Stadium, which is a state-of-the-art facility designed to look like a coiled-up rattlesnake. They can actually roll the turf out from under that. And also, the Arizona Diamondbacks are at Chase Field, right downtown Arizona as well. In 2006, Chase Field was also host to the World Baseball Classics as well. It's hosted international soccer games, among other sporting events. And the U.S. Airways Center is home to the Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Mercury, the Arizona Rattlers, and the Phoenix Roadrunners. And U.S. Airways hosted the NBA All-Star Game back in February 15th, 2009. And we here at Speed are getting geared up for our own All-Star event. And by the way, it is Speed Network President Hunter Nickel who is actually flying that plane over the racetrack right now. It's May 22nd, and look at the guys who are eligible for the Sprint fan vote. These are the guys who aren't in so far, and we have the privilege today of sitting here on the stage with two gentlemen who have been voted in by the fans to the All-Star Challenge before. That must have been cool, KP.
It was incredibly cool. You know, we did a thing with the Victory Junction Gang Camp and with Coca-Cola, and they had a program that voted us in, and then they sent some matching funds to camp. But that's one of the biggest honors, to be voted into something like that because of these people standing here behind you. You know what I mean? And granted, I should have probably been in it, but thank God for Coca-Cola and for the camp day.
And here's something to look at over the next couple of weeks here on the Sprint Cup Series. Not only does a win get you that coveted checkered flag, but it also gets you a spot in the Sprint All-Star race. And you know, Kenny, everybody wants to be in there. You've had the honor of being in it many times and getting in different ways.
You know, the Sprint fan vote is awesome. It was a highlight of my career, thanks to all you fans out there. And let me say this, Casey Kane did not even make the race. He finished 6th, race fans, and like, oh, Casey Kane's out of it. And you fans voted Casey Kane in. The sun went down, the track went fast, and Casey Kane won it all and stunned the nation. So don't you think for a minute the Sprint fan vote is not important. It is, because Casey Kane proved it.
And don't think for a minute that the challenge is not going to be big time. Let's take a look at some of the names of drivers who are not yet guaranteed a spot in the All-Star race. There's only a couple. That was a list we just saw a second ago, but there's a couple of ways to get up in there. First of all, it's the fan vote. Greg Biffle, Jeff Burton, just to name a few, are going to have to go out there. Clint Boyer, another one, to go out there and win that challenge to get in the race.
And these are guys that have won Cup races in the past, won 8 or 9 in a season, and now they're in this race trying to get to the All-Star race. Now, let me say something. NASCAR has a new motto. Have at it, boys. If you think have at it doesn't apply to this race, you're dead wrong. Have at it means everything in this race, because these guys are racing for pride as much as anything else. Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle, Jeff Burton, those guys want to be in the big show, but the first show is going to be the great show.
And you know, what a great weekend, race fans. You're from all over the world, just not here in the United States. Come to Charlotte, North Carolina. Looky here, I got it wrote down. We have the new Hall of Fame. Come check that out. We have the truck race. Come check that out. And the Pit Crew Challenge. It is a great weekend. The weather's always good. Charlotte's a beautiful town. Come down and watch it all. It will take place on Speed TV, and I love that weekend because there's no points involved. People are wrecking each other and going, no points. And they do like They look like Wabala Montoya, they say, so I wreck you. Get over it. Get over it.
And that showdown is the last chance for many drivers to make it up in the Sprint All-Star race, which is worth $1 million to the winner. And it was so good last year, it actually forced a change in NASCAR rules. So you want to tune into Speed on All-Star Weekend. But we got a lot of racing going on here at Phoenix. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be back. We're just barely firing our engines on this edition of NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot.
Welcome back to NASCAR Race Day here at Phoenix International Raceway. A beautiful, sunny, 90-degree day for racing. We couldn't ask for a better temperature, but Greg Biffle coming into Phoenix has moved up in the point standings 2 spots, specifically to the 2nd place in points, and that's a good spot to be in 6 races into the season. We're now joined by Greg Biffle here on NASCAR Race Day. And Greg, 6 races in, and so much can happen. At this point last year, I think you were 23rd in points, so you got to be much more pleased with the way the season is going so far.
Oh, yeah, we really are. The 3 and Ford Fusion and the team have just done a great job, and I mean, everybody's worked really hard on the car, and it's just, you know, we're happy to be where we're at, but we want to be that much better. We want to be winning races. We're finishing in the top 5, top 10, but we got to get some wins. You know, that's what we're really pushing for.
Now, when you look at the qualifying grid, fans shouldn't be alarmed because you qualified 30th, but you were 4th in happy hour. The timing of qualifying kind of got turned around. Explain how your car is going to be in relation to how you qualified.
Well, certainly we hope that, don't be alarmed because we're hoping it's going to be very good. It just, you know, it was a little bit tight qualifying and got loose down here in 3 and 4. So unfortunately, you know, that was a bad qualifying deal, and it was probably the driver mostly. So our car, like you said, 4th in happy hour, pretty happy with it. And we'll just see what happens. We think it's going to be a good day, and you know, our thoughts and prayers are with all those miners, families, you know, as they go through that tough time.
Absolutely, we agree with those sentiments. Now, for today's race, daytime into nighttime, that nationwide race, believe it or not, bugs were an issue, race fans. Explain what we could possibly see tonight because of that situation.
Well, it was kind of funny. Normally, we can't see out of the window because there's rubber and debris and you know, grease sweep and stuff on the windshield. But last night, it was bugs. Bugs were covering the window. So, you know, this week tonight, they just got done in the driver's meeting, said that we can have the 7th man for the tear-off right away. So that's, or the 8th man, I guess I should say. But we're happy about that because visibility is going to be hard with the sun going down here and the bugs on the window.
Now, we're going into the month of May, which means the All-Star race on Speed. If you don't win a race between now and then, what is your backup plan? Plan B to get the fan vote?
Vote for the Biff or stick with the Biff. One of the two will work. You know, we think that we're going to be able to win one of these races. I'm not feeling overconfident, but, you know, here, Texas, Darlington are some of our best racetracks leading up to that. You never know, Talladega, we ran good at the Daytona 500. Well, hopefully we'll win one of those races and won't have to be voted in, or race our way in. So we have 2 options, 3 options, so hopefully we'll win.
All right, good luck to Greg Biffle. Stick with the Biff. I think that's Johnny Roberts who loves that saying. Hermie?
Well, thank you. We got Robbie Gordon. Also, let's talk about that. Talking about the All-Star race coming up. You called on your fans to try to vote Robbie Gordon in that All-Star race?
You know, I'd like to, you know, I say this every year, I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way and just win a race before then and get ourselves in there. But, you know, we unloaded here at Phoenix. We were pretty good. I had a really good shot going into qualifying. First lap, I had to put 1 in the bank because I'm outside the top 35, and I put that one in the bank and went forward on the second one, got a little bit loose and clipped the wall off of 4.
And you talk about being on the outside looking in, not too far on the outside of the top 35, but your calls have been pretty good. You've been fast, and we were just talking about mechanical failures, get caught up in wrecks and those kind of things. It doesn't take long, as competitive as it is, to be in this position.
Well, you know, we started the season going to the white flag, running 11th, and didn't make it back around to the checkers. Went to California, we lost a motor. Vegas, I hit the wall, and we pitched the carcass off the tire there at Atlanta, and we find ourselves, you know, looking on the outside, looking in. So we just got to dig hard. The team's been working really hard, burning the midnight oil, I would say it, building the best race cars we can. And this car here is probably one of the best cars we have in our shop.
Talk about your car in race trim. A lot of people are talking as far as the guys outside looking in, top 15 car in race trim for you guys.
I think so. I really do. I feel like we'll have good forward bite in the long run. Really focused on that, especially with the sun going to be out here for a couple more hours. You know, power down is going to be real important coming off 4.
And an extra, a little bit longer race tonight, 63 more laps. What do you think that'll do for tonight's race?
Well, you know, like I said, my guys have worked hard. It's harder on equipment with the more laps we run, the harder it is on motors, transmissions, drivetrain. Longer race, more things to happen, but we're set for it.
And my buddy Blake Shelton riding along again with Robbie Gordon here tonight at Phoenix. Should be a good run for these guys, Johnny.
Hermie, thanks a lot, and best of luck to Robbie Gordon. Under NASCAR rules, after the 5th race of the season, we go to this year's owner points. The top 35 are locked into every race on any given weekend, and if you're on the outside looking in, it changes your whole focus going into a race weekend because you have to worry about qualifying first rather than race setup. As we look at the teams who are in and those who are out, and Kenna Wallace, Kyle Petty, you guys have both been in that position. You've been in the top 35 and out. How does it change your perspective?
Well, there's a lot of things to look at this race. Mike Bliss and David Stremming missed the race. So a lot of those guys are going, woo, we got rid of them for 1 week, Kyle. But the next week they'll make the race, and then they'll miss the race, and it goes back and forth.
And that's the hard part about it. Those guys just steal points from each other, which is hard. You know, when they start stealing points from each other, nobody's winning. Everybody gets farther behind the top 35. And that's complicated. But you heard Robbie say, I had to get a lap in the bank. There's a lot of pressure on a guy to go out and know he's got to ease off of it a little bit quicker, get back in the gas, roll through, just get a smooth lap and get a solid lap so he'll be in the race as opposed to just going out and busting off a lap and qualifying like you want to. That's a lot of pressure on a driver.
Well, race fans, stick with us. This is one of the most unique mile tracks anywhere in the country. We'll tell you exactly how to get around this racetrack and what might happen along the way. We got 60-some more laps to look at tonight, and we'll take you around a couple hot laps when we come back.
While a familiar face sits atop the standings, 2010 has been anything but predictable.
Checkered flag in the air, the 52nd Daytona 500 to Jamie McMurray.
We got the lowdown on the first 6 races, and we're taking you along for the ride.
You knew we were going to win. We won.
Around the Turn, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Downtown Phoenix is a central business district of the city, and Phoenix, being the county seat of Maricopa County, is the capital of Arizona, serves as a center of politics, justice, and government on the local, state, and federal levels. It's a major art and cultural institution area, and downtown Phoenix is the center of major league sports activities and also the regional headquarters for several major banks. It is great to be here in Phoenix for a wonderful weekend in the Valley of the Sun, but only here on NASCAR Race Day can we bring together Emporia, Virginia, and Tasmania, Australia. We're doing that for you now as we go to Hermie Sadler.
Well, surprisingly enough, Marcus can understand me and I can understand him, so we'll get this done. I came to the Kingsford truck.
But I can't understand any wrestling. I just don't get that bit.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about that. I came to the Kingsford truck thinking I was going to get something to eat. Where's the grill?
Well, it's time to fire up the grill. So yesterday I thought I'd make some smoke, and I fired up my rear tyres and spun out. It's been great to have Kingsford back on board. It's a beautiful time of the year. Everyone's getting their grills out to start cooking outside, and we're really enjoying promoting that message. But today it's all about, you know, firing on the racetrack. We're ready to go. Had a great qualifying, got a good car for the race. Hopefully we get to the night time. The car's going to be slick. It's going to be sliding around. It's going to be really hard to hang on to for the first couple of hours of this race, but hopefully as that sun comes down, we're going to really come to life.
And last time we were here, you had an 11th place finish, pretty good run. How do you take what you learned last time and turn it into a top 5 tonight?
Well, the car's very different here this week. I'm not sure why, whether it's just the track temperature or the, I don't know, but the tyre just feels really different to me. It's really hard to get a handle on. You either shaking tyres tight or you're spinning out loose, so it's going to be hard for us to work out what we really need to do here, but I've got a great team around me. Looking forward to it.
And I know you want to get in by winning, but we got the All-Star race coming up on speed here in a couple of weeks, and I know you want to try to get your fans out to NASCAR.com and try to get you voted into that race, should you need the vote.
Yeah, I want to be the first Australian ever to be in the All-Star race, and it'd be a lot easier if I don't have to race my way in, so anyone who wants to vote, please do. Number 47, can't go wrong. I'll look after you.
You ought to have no trouble winning the vote in Australia. That ought to help.
Yeah, there's just not enough people down there, you know. 300 million Americans versus 20 million Australians. I think I'm on the losing side.
We're going to try to do what we can to get the Australians, New Zealand, anybody else that wants to vote Marcus Ambrose.
No New Zealand, just Australians, and just one Australian, please.
Okay, just one. That's Marcus Ambrose. He'd be fun to see get in the All-Star race, and he may do it by winning this race tonight, Johnny.
Hermie, thanks a lot. Joey Logano did an awesome job qualifying his race car. He will start 6th in today or tonight's race, however you want to look at it. Now he's going to take us around this track in the Home Depot Hot Lap.
Hey, it's Joey Logano with your Home Depot Hot Lap. Last week we were in Martinsville, had an awesome run, brought home a second place finish, 1-2 for JGR, so really excited about that. Coming into Phoenix here, got a lot of momentum, and I feel like we got a really good Home Depot Toyota. We had a decent qualifying run, so we're pretty pumped up. In my opinion, this is a short track, but you still get a lot of speed, and you know, aero does come into play here. You will get an aero tight or aero loose, depending on where cars are around you, but at the same time, it's a short track. You'll be bumping and banging just like any other one, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's always a fun racetrack. We're gonna be under the lights, so I know the fans like that, and as a driver, I love it. Now, for sure, we're definitely getting into a rhythm. We had a lot of races under our belts this year so far. Yes, the points are still moving around a lot every weekend, but you know, I feel like everyone's getting in a rhythm now. Everyone's getting kind of settled in, and I feel like I got a top 10 car. You know, in practice, I feel like our car is pretty good, so that's gonna be our expectations for this one. Is try to get in the top 10, and hopefully things play out just right at the end like they did in Martinsville, and we get a real good finish. So we'll have to see, and that's your Home Depot Hot Lap.
Joey, thanks a lot. Car number 20 is having no sophomore slump so far this year, running 13th in points. And watch out for Joey Logano tonight as he has a great starting spot. When we come back, some fantasy picks, and we're going to put Carl Edwards together with a championship boxer.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway, located in Avondale, actually, in Arizona. 90-degree temps. It's a beautiful day for racing as we are going to hit the green flag in a short amount of time. Now, first race of the season right out of the books, it was Jamie McMurray, the Daytona 500 winner 6 races ago, and then we went on to Atlanta, and Kurt Busch won with his new crew chief, Steve Addington. He almost went on to win Bristol, but who shattered those dreams? Well, it was our points leader, Jimmy Johnson, who earned his 50th career win at Bristol, his 3rd of the season. And how about Denny Hamlin? 2 weeks ago in Victory Lane in Martinsville, Virginia, his home state, comes into Phoenix post ACL surgery and possibly could have to step out of the race car. Casey Mears on standby for that situation. Can you believe it's already been 6 races in the books? Here we are mid-April, and a lot has already happened. There's been a lot of shakeup in the points. The majority of it was led by Kevin Harvick, who recently got knocked off the top by none other than Jimmy Johnson. Let's take a look at the last 6 races.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has cleared all the traffic. He's got his sights set on just one car. McMurray off turn 4 for the final time.
Jamie McMurray sees Dale Earnhardt Jr. behind, coming down to the line to the side of the Daytona 500. McMurray will get it. He will win the 52nd running of the Daytona 500.
Jamie McMurray's victory at the Great American Race got the 2010 NASCAR season off and running.
Dude, I am worn out. That was so awesome.
Since then, Jeff Gordon dominated Vegas, only to regret taking 2 tires, while teammate Jimmy Johnson opted for 4 on the last round of pit stops.
Johnson has the advantage as they head into 4. Johnson now takes the lead.
Kurt Busch picked up right where he left off last season.
Kurt Busch is going to win it for Roger Penske. The Blue Deuce goes to Victory Lane again in Atlanta.
The Deuce is back. Way to go, boys.
And RCR is back where they belong. All 3 cars are in the top 10.
Great job, Kevin. Guys, great job. Long way from where we've been. We've come out here with what we needed. Very proud of you.
Trouble on the front stretch. A car has slammed the wall, and that is the machine of Brad Keselowski. And that car got up on its roof.
Did I just fly? Yeah, you just flew, buddy.
We've seen rivalries renewed.
Carl Edwards has been told, take your car back to the garage, put it on the truck, and go home.
And new ones develop.
Juan Pablo Montoya spins in turn 3. He collects Kurt Busch, also Jamie McMurray.
He just plain simple just wrecked us. And I'm sure when they radio, I didn't mean that, but he's just trying to prove people he can drive a race car, and I guess it's not doing too many favors in this team.
You guys probably shouldn't put a lot of stock into what he said. When you ask somebody something immediately after getting crashed, they typically don't have nice things to say.
There's been epic battles.
It's down to a car link. Kevin Harvick closing down on race leader Jimmy Johnson. Coming to the front in the closing laps here in California.
Crazy finishes.
Outside, inside.
Kenseth's going to shut the door. Gordon walks up the racetrack. Here comes Kenseth.
3 wide, 3 wide. Clear hot.
They bang hard, and here comes Kenseth, 3 wide to the bottom. Kenseth to the inside, takes the lead. He's got a tire down. He goes to the outside and hits the wall, and Denny Hamlin takes the lead.
It all worked out perfectly for Denny Hamlin. He scores his first win of of the year here at Martinsville Speedway.
And a few surprises, too.
And Paul Menard, wow, having a career day, looking for his 3rd top 10 finish ever.
And who's leading the Gibbs Toyotas? Kyle? Denny? Try again. It's last year's Rookie of the Year, sliced bread himself, Joey Logano. After a second-place finish last week at Martinsville, the youngster moved up 4 notches to 13th and is looking to continue his climb up the leaderboard.
It will be career win number 50. It will be his first victory on the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway as Jimmy Johnson claims the Food City 500.
With 3 wins and a top 10 at the paperclip, the champ is back on top, taking over the lead from Kevin Harvick, who's held that spot since Fontana.
Clear all the way, clear all the way, clear all the way.
With a whole lot of season left to race, anything and everything can and will happen.
And the inevitable has happened. Jimmy Johnson takes the points lead away from Kevin Harvick after last 2 weeks ago at Martinsville, Hermie.
Yeah, and Greg Biffle, 6 straight top 10s to start this season. Matt Kenseth, a little bit of a bad luck at Martinsville a couple of weeks ago. And Kevin Harvick, as we talked about, been a points leader all year, but he dropped back at Martinsville with some mechanical problems.
And 5th through 12th, there has been some shakeups. I think the one that sticks out to me also is Tony Stewart in 8th. I think everyone came into 2010 expecting high things from Stewart Haas Racing. His teammate Ryan Newman in 22nd.
Yeah, Clint Boyer right behind him, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. quietly into the top 10 without a race win so far this year, but definitely improved over last year.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. also in the top 10. There's a lot of key storylines for 2010. Which ones stick out in your mind, Hermie?
Well, I think a couple things. Number one is Jimmy Johnson, the way he's winning races. He's not dominating races like he did last year. He's won on pit strategy, 4 tires. Back at California, opportune caution came out. He won at Bristol. His restart really put him in place of victory lane there. So the way the 48's winning and where he's winning kind of serves notice to everybody else in the garage that, hey, and these guys haven't even hit their stride yet.
And really the ones that have stepped up in my mind has been RCR. I think RCR is right around the corner, whether it's Harvick, Boyer, or Jeff Burton. I'll get them all out there. Either one of those 3, I think, is going to get a victory, Kyle. I think a lot of teams have been focusing on 2010, but RCR definitely stepped it up at the end of 2009.
And I agree with Wendy 100%. RCR has come to another level. When you start looking at it.
Sorry about
that. Those guys have come to, they weren't even in the ball game the last half of last year. They made big improvements, but they got close, but all of a sudden they're back in the ball game. The difference is this: Jimmy Johnson's had 1 bad race, the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick has had 1 bad race, Martinsville. Okay, the difference between being 4th in points and leading the points right now, Jimmy Johnson has 3 wins. Childress in the 29 has 0 wins. So no matter what we say about consistency, this system still rewards the guy that wins races, and it's rewarding Jimmy Johnson right now.
You know, one thing I really like when I look back through these 6 or 7 races getting ready to start is Jeff Gordon. I mean, here's Jeff Gordon, 39, approaching 40 years old, and we're thinking, well, Gordon's got a baby girl and maybe he's starting to, fall. No, contraire to belief, Jeff Gordon is getting better. He's going to win Vegas if they don't make the wrong call on tires. Jeff Gordon leading in the late stages at Martinsville. So my choice of a standout at the start of the year, an individual, not talking about a team, is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is back by popular demand.
And if you ever think it's too early to talk about points, let's consider what NASCAR did when they implemented the chase format. What they did was they basically took away a third of the season when we reset and go racing for the championship. So almost anybody you talk to right now, if you ask them how their season is going, Kyle, what they tell you is where they are in reference to that 12th spot, whether they're in or out.
And this sport has always been that way. If you go back to when R.J. Reynolds was a part of the sport, we had first, third money, half money, first 3/4 money. I mean, there was a different point system. You chase the points all year long. And that's the way it is now. What the chase has done, it's taken the season and it's made it exciting. You've got those 26 races. You race your rear end off to get to be those chase drivers. But even when you're in the chase and you're not in the chase, you're still racing for that 13th place. And that's the deal. I think the sport has always been this type of thing where you're chasing those points from day one until they throw the checkered flag at the end of the season.
And Kenny Wallace, other drivers have admitted it so far. When they see the number 48 in their rearview mirror, it makes the cause for panic.
One of the most popular interviews of the year, if we're going to take an excerpt out of an interview, it would be Kurt Busch at Bristol. Kurt, you finished second Oh, I'd have rather got beat by anybody except that 48 of Jimmy Johnson. What's going on here, race fans, is we're finding out that Jimmy Johnson can win all types of ways, like this way. Chad Knaus makes a pit call, hey, gas and go, or no tires or whatever, and Jimmy Johnson is so good, he can win without new tires or all types of situations like that.
Well, race fans, stick with us here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. We're going to take you all the way up to pre-race festivities here at the Phoenix International Raceway. But when we come back, Hermie Sadler is on pit road, and he's going to show you something you may not know about this 1 mile racetrack. Gear up for spring at Gander Mountain's Get It, Get Outdoors event going on now. Find all the latest innovative gear to make your next fishing or camping trip the best yet. Gander Mountain, we live outdoors. Shop the store, the catalog, or online with free shipping every day. From Gander Mountain to Superstition Mountain, it's located immediately east of the Phoenix area, and it anchors the west end of the Superstition Wilderness. Although its precise origin is debated by geologists, many believe the mountain was formed from volcanic activity as far back as 25 million years ago, or when Jimmy Spencer started his racing career. We love you, Spence. The ash and basalt composed mountain was eroded by the elements to give it its unique form it has today, creating a prominent landmark and a popular recreation destination in the region. Now, this race is becoming a pretty popular destination. It is the same idea as the last time we raced here. Go fast, last, and make it to the end. But we're starting earlier and going longer, so let's take a look at what's different about this year's event.
I don't know whether it's going to affect us a lot, but you know, it's going to be more racing during the day, and you know, about the same at night. So we'll just have to wait and see. I really don't know how it's going to affect the race. You know, it's going to be another couple stops in the race, but we'll just wait and see.
Whether it's 500 laps or 200 laps or 400, whatever it is, what it is. You know, you get in the car, you drive, and work on the car. You know, you're still going to have 50 to go, 100 to go, and it's, you know, it's fine.
This has typically been one of the shorter races, so it's just going to add a little bit of length back to it that we haven't had. And you know, the bigger challenge that we're going to have, which is transitioning from day to night, is going to be there anyway. So now it's just going to make the tire bill a little more expensive.
Really won't make a big difference to us, the drivers, and the equipment. Everything should be fine. Just a little bit longer race for the fans, and hopefully it's what they're looking forward to.
I like the longer distance races. I think it allows us all to shake out and allows people to really work on their car during the early part of the race to get dialed in for the end. And we're excited about it. I think we've got a good car here for the race, and the longer the races are, the better it is.
Well, there's always been a lot of talk on making the races shorter. Why are we making this one longer? It's because the sponsor wanted to put something unique in, and if we have trouble with sponsors in this economy, we've got to do what we can to make them happy. So we'll start the race a little earlier, end a little later. Shouldn't be a big deal.
Now, this 1 mile racetrack was originally designed for open wheel race cars, but when NASCAR first started coming here, the unique layout on the 1 mile with the dog leg in the backstretch quickly made it a favorite among drivers and fans. So our drivers here are about set to take us on a lap around this place. Drivers, take it away.
I am ready to rumble. As we go into turn 1, we want to go down to the yellow line, but we do have options. Dog leg straightaway. Looky here. Come off the corner, Kyle Petty. And now, what are we doing? We're turning left as we head into turn 3.
I don't even remember this track, Kenny. It's been so long since I've been
stop
out.
it.
And this is a real flat corner. And this is a corner where you'll see guys run right down on the yellow line or below the line, right in the middle of the racetrack. And we saw Kyle Busch last night pass people on the outside. So this is one of those places, the corner is so flat that wherever your car wants to go, you can almost let your car float into the corner and settle wherever it wants to, then pick up the throttle. All it's got to do is turn in the middle, and we know how hard that is.
It's a recurring theme every time we come back here. This is the Valley of the Sun. There's a lot of glare, and as we go from daytime into nighttime, you take a look at how bad the glare can be on the driver. Kenny, you experienced it firsthand last night.
Absolutely. What's going on is we're going to start this race at 4 o'clock Phoenix time. The sun's going to be right in your face here. Look at these drivers. Look how he's angling his head, squinting his eyes. This is Carl Edwards. And he's even having a tough time. Now shade, back in the sun. This will play havoc with you. Look here. Okay, get ready, get ready, get ready. The sun's in your eyes. I don't know, are they going to go, not go? Boom, I hit somebody because I can't see.
And on the backstretch, a very unique little dog leg you were talking about just a second ago, Kenny. As we take a look at it, that doesn't happen on very many racetracks, and certainly not 1 mile tracks.
We usually have racetracks that, you know, the car just kind of goes around this oval. This actually is a back straightaway where you have to turn the wheel left, Kyle Petty.
Yeah, and you know, that's why the people love, that's what drivers love this place. That's why the fans love this place. It's a mile racetrack, but it's totally different than any other mile. It's different than the Rockingham we used to run. It's different than New Hampshire. It's different than Dover. It's different than those places. And when you look at it, it's an old school racetrack. There's no other place like it. You can't say, well, you know, Chicago's kind of like Kansas, or Kansas is kind of like this, or California's kind of like Michigan, or whatever. This is a place unto itself, and the guys love to come out here because it's a challenge.
There is not much real estate out here, and there's also double file restarts. So put those two things together, and we can have havoc on the restarts. And Kenny, what was your term?
This is the reckonest restart track in all of NASCAR and America. Race fans,
write that down.
Hold your breath. Phoenix loves it. The fans love it. When a restart happens, get on your feet, because it has been named by me the reckonest restart track in the history of NASCAR.
And Hermie Sadler, Kenny Wallace, has now developed a new adjective, and that is reckonest, and I think it's exactly right when you talk about this racetrack.
Yeah, how am I supposed to follow that up, JR?
It's difficult.
Kenny said it all, but look, let's look on the racetrack and explain the restart zones for the fans. You look right behind me on the racetrack coming off turn 4. 2 red lines on the racetrack. That starts the zone by which NASCAR wants the race to be started. A little bit further down pit road or down the racetrack, you see 1 line. They want the restart to be done in that zone. Now, the leader of the race can choose what line he wants to be, and he also has the right to start the race. The guy who's running second, whether he's on the inside or outside, cannot jump the guy leading the race. But what we've seen the last couple races, especially on short tracks, restarts are so important. You no longer have the lap down cars on the inside to kind of give you some padding to separate yourself between the guy you're fighting for position for. Right now, when they drop the green flag on restarts, you're fighting for position from the second that green flag drops, and it really causes these guys to want to try to get maybe an advantage, sometimes an unfair advantage on restart. So sometimes we see a fast restart, sometimes, like we saw last night, a slow restart. And sometimes that can cause major trouble on this racetrack because it's a narrow front straightaway, outside wall and inside wall. A bad restart can mean big trouble for the guys behind you.
Hermie Sadler, thanks a lot. There's something about this racetrack that makes it conducive for drivers' sweeps. Jimmy Johnson swept one season, and back in 2006, it was Kevin Harvick who won both events at this racetrack. And you know what? He might be a real good guy for your Sunoco performance picks. I'm just thinking that. Just thinking out loud right now. We'll see when we come back. It is time now for the Sunoco Performance Picks. See what our fantasy standings are like right now, and you can play along with us if you want. Kyle Petty may have rookie stripes on the back of his fantasy car, but he is the only one performing so far. You got Wendy, a 2-time defending champion, or actually defending 2 years ago, but whatever. Wendy is 393 points back. And me and Kenna Wallace, you could take 2 races off.
We suck.
And we wouldn't be anywhere near you. You could not pick for 2 straight weeks.
Then if that's the case, I'm going to be the first starting Parker in the fantasy league. Okay? Starting Park in the fantasy league right here, ladies and
He's
gentlemen.
doing so good, he can pick a starting Park and gain points still.
You could.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're just that good, and that means you get to lead us off.
Oh, lead job. Okay, here's who I got this week. Tony Stewart, smoke him if you got him, and he's going to smoke him here in Phoenix this week. So I got Tony Stewart as my A category. My B category, I got David Ruderman. I'm going to tell you what, I looked at what he's done here in the trucks and in the nationwide and the stuff. He's just incredibly consistent here. So I got David Ruderman. But my main guy is Robbie Gordon. Okay, and you say, why do you pick Robbie Gordon? He's had so many crew chiefs. He shows me he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. He just changes. He wants that team to get better. You saw it in his interview. He just wants to run the best and win races. He wants to race his way into the All-Star race. He wants to do all that. So Robbie Gordon's my man in the C category.
Gotcha. He's a good road course racer as well. Wendy?
Well, take Kyle Petty out of the picture. There's only 5 points between myself, Johnny, and Hermie, so it's a tight battle as of right now. Well, who am I going with today? Well, in my top pick, I'm going with Jeff Gordon here at Phoenix. I think he has a good shot at it. In my B tier is Joey Logano. I'll get to that in a second. And in my C tier, I'm going to go with Robbie Gordon here. He's from the West Coast. That should maybe get me some points. Now, when it comes to Joey Logano, coming off the 2nd place finish 2 weeks ago at Martinsville, he said that was one of the best races overall that he's felt. Plus, on top of that win that he had last year, 2 weeks ago, he felt good about it. Gives him, what does that mean, Johnny? Momentum into Phoenix, and Joey Logano will have a great race today.
You know, Wendy, when they talk about predicting the stock market, they always say that past performance does not indicate future results. But I'm going away from that, and I'm going with some of the guys who have had the best record at this racetrack over the past couple years. Out of the A tier, we like Mark the Kid Martin, who jump-started his season here. Last year, he's got to go from the back of the pack to the front to get it done. And how about a gentleman that has swept this race before in one season, 2006, Kevin Harvick, right there. There's Kevin. He will make this one a tough go for anybody that is out there. And I hate to call this guy a C-tier driver because I don't think he is. He is known as BK12. He will come from the back of the pack and get this thing done today. And with that, we go to Hermie Sadler.
Well, JR, you're coming strong this weekend. I like your attitude. But look, you see the Sunoco gas pumps at work behind me. The team's getting their cans filled up for the race. Here's my picks. A pick, Tony Stewart. I agree with Kyle Petty Smoke. I really like the fact that Tony's normally good on hot, slick racetracks. That's what we've got today. Look for Tony Stewart to get to victory lane and get me some much-needed points here in Sunoco picks. Joey Logano, we haven't given this guy enough respect all year long. He's been solid. He's been consistent. He's got a good qualifying run here. Look for him to have a good run tonight behind crew chief Greg Zipadelli. And Scott Speed qualified on the outside pole. He's a West Coast guy also. I look for these three guys to get me back in contention this weekend. Kenny Wallace?
And my A group is Jeff Gordon. Why? Because I told you earlier, he is back by popular demand. He is very good at this racetrack, so Jeff Gordon will win the race. My B group, it's Jeff Burton. And the reason I like Jeff Burton is because Childress Racing is really tough right now. They've got their act together. They got speed in the car, and he will have his car handling at halfway point. My C driver, BK Broiler, Brad Keselowski, controversial driver. He is ready to roll. He was good in practice. I think he was 16th. But I want to talk about Jeff Burton. The reason I also picked Jeff Burton is because his basketball team won, in my terms, the Basketball World Series. Duke. So his team is Duke. They won it all. So Jeff Burton going to do good. Now, see, I'm a Cardinal boy. St. Louis Cardinals, all about baseball, World Series. They need to come up with a name for the NCAA, like when you win it all.
They got it.
What do they call it now?
It's called a championship. NCAA Tournament Championship.
What? That's a tourney. That's a tournament.
It already has a name, Kenny. We'll work with him a little bit later.
World
but right
Series.
now, what race fan would not want to win an official gas can from Sunoco?
World Series.
And you can actually do that, race fans. If you want an official Sunoco racing fuel can, visit speedtv.com/Sunoco for entry details, official rules, and drawing dates. You can find at speedtv.com/Sunoco. We're getting closer and closer to dropping the green flag here at Phoenix, so stay with us on race day. Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix International Raceway and NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. We are getting ready for Sprint Cup Series race number 7 of the season and the 28th NASCAR Sprint Cup race in the history of this Phoenix International Raceway. Built back in 1964, NASCAR came here in 1988 and has been running hard ever since. The last time we raced this particular race here at Phoenix, it was Mark Martin who jump-started his season and ended up as a championship contender. So don't ever write off the number 5 car, even if he's starting back in the 23rd spot tonight. Let's take a look at qualifying. And when you look at this, look at the road course racers who qualified very well at Phoenix. In the 4th spot, it's Marcus Ambrose, a little bit better than 133.8 miles per hour. Another accomplished road course racer and open wheel champion, Sam Hornish Jr., will start 3rd. And when you talk about the great open wheel drivers, how about Scott Speed, who has his number 82 Red Bull Toyota on the front row alongside of another open wheeler claiming his first ever pole position in the famous number 43. It is A.J. Allmendinger who will lead us to the green flag for the first time in his career. Can he parlay that into his first ever victory? We shall see, and this guy will have something to say about that. Jimmy Johnson's won 4 of the last 5 races here, including the last time we raced here, and he finds himself as the Sprint Cup Series points leader after 6 of 36 races. Then it's the Biff, off to his best start ever. Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick round out your top 4 in Cup Series points. Then we see Jeff Burton also representing Richard Childress Racing with Clint Boyer. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s in 10th, and right now fellow Red Bull racer teammate to Scott Speed, Brian Vickers, is in the 12th and final chase position. Let's now send you down in the infield where Wendy Venturini is standing by with this day's pole sitter. Wendy?
Yes, Johnny, it was a history-making kind of day for A.J. Allmendinger. Congratulations on that pole. How does it feel to get your first pole in the Cup Series?
Last night it felt awesome, and now I'm not gonna lie, I am nervous as can be going into start this race. But no, the Valvoline Ford, everybody on the 43 Richard Petty Motorsports team, just proud that I could share that with them and have a great experience to get my first pole here at Phoenix, and just looking for a solid day today.
All right, now we've mentioned about the road course experience, and if you're open wheel driver, does it really apply, or is that just a bunch of talk on TV?
I think it's just more talk on TV than anything. I've never seen a road course that's only got left-hand corners on it. So it's just like Pocono. They told me when I went to Pocono I should be good there because it's like a road course. I said, no, it's just a messed up oval with 3 different left-handers. So I enjoy this place. We've always ran well here. I really love driving around here. It's going to be a tough race between starting in the sun, going in the night, but I'm ready to go.
Now, do you think this difference with adding some more laps to this race, the 63 extra laps we're going to have, how do you feel it's going to play an effect of the finish?
I don't think it's going to affect it that much. I think more than anything, as a driver, we just got to be more patient. We start an hour earlier, so track's going to be really slick. It's been hot out, going to be sitting here all day. So for us, we start up front. Hopefully we got a good car to kind of start with and just get into a good pace, whether that's in the top 5, top 10, and just run around there until you get to the night. As long as you can be there the last 75 laps on the lead lap inside the top 10, you got a chance to win.
Okay, A.J. Allmendinger is an avid NASCAR race day viewer, and go ahead, you can call me out on this.
I was disappointed. I almost didn't come out and do the interview because I was all excited, and I was like, oh, Wendy, all right, she's doing her picks. I'm on the pole, and nothing. I got no love once again. It's cool. I still came out here, and, to represent Valvoline, but for you and me right now,
we're on the outs.
We're not doing too well, no.
I am so busted, Johnny. Please help.
Well, Wendy, if you look up and down the fantasy picks, no one had any love for A.J. Allmendinger, but we may be proven wrong by the time everything is all said and done. Want to bring you up to date on another one of the top stories of today. Of course, Denny Hamlin, after his win at Martinsville, underwent successful surgery to repair an ACL in his knee. He has Casey Mears standing by as a backup driver. And guys, you've all been there before. Every driver has been hurt one time or another. And Kyle, I like the way you put it a couple weeks ago. You said when you're injured like that in the race car, it's nothing short of annoying when you're trying to drive.
Yeah, and we saw him get in the car. We had footage of him trying to get it right here. He steps to the front of the car and kind of corkscrews his way into the car. You can't drive like that a whole race. You can't be competitive with Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart and guys like that for a whole race. Can Denny do it for a while? Yes, he can, because he's incredibly tough. Mentally tough, physically strong, he can do it. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think he can go the whole race. And I think if he goes the whole race, and we've all done it, you end up letting your team down a little bit. And Denny's smart enough. That's what he said. I can be tough, but I don't want to be stupid. Denny's not going to be stupid today.
If Denny stays in the race car and he has a successful night, then all of a sudden they're making T-shirts, Denny Hamlin, one tough customer. But if he doesn't stay in it, it's only natural. He's got to heal up.
All right, Casey Mears is standing by, a very good plan B for Joe Gibbs Racing if Denny Hamlin has to get out of the car, and that's probably the last thing he wants to do tonight. We'll be back to Phoenix International Raceway in just a moment as we get closer and closer to green flag time.
Next week, the boys hammer down in the Lone Star State, where the name of the game is speed. And the only question that matters is, who wears the hat? Live from Texas, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix International Raceway. Phoenix was incorporated as a city in 1881 after being founded in 1868 near the Salt River, near its confluence with the Gila River. The city eventually became a major transportation hub in North America and a financial, industrial, and cultural economic center of the southwestern United States. And residents of this city are known as Phoenicians. Well, Jimmy Johnson's dominance at this racetrack has been nothing short of spectacular over the last couple of years. He's won 4 out of the last 5 races, and the only guy to take one away from him was his teammate, Mark Martin, in this race last year. So who better to go to than the Chad Knaus, for this week's Sunoco Pit Strategy of the Week.
Well,
Okay, so this weekend it's the true test, wing or spoiler. Well, everybody's got the spoilers on, and I think they're feeling a little bit of the pain that everybody was talking about going to the spoiler. Not as much side force, the cars are a little bit more inconsistent than what we saw with the wing on the back. But I think when it's all said and done, once everybody gets acclimated, they're going to prefer the spoiler over the wing in the long run. Not that we really have a choice, how's that? But the real determining thing about this weekend's race is we're starting an hour earlier than what we have in the past. The race is about 63 laps longer than what it has been. So here in the middle of the desert in Phoenix, it gets very, very hot midday. So there's going to be a lot of guys really screaming about the handling of the race cars at the start of the race. You can go about 65, maybe 70 laps in a Sunoco fuel run, but come the end of the race, it's going to be track position, and fresh tires are really going to start to pay dividends. It's going to be a neat one to watch, guys, so enjoy.
Thanks, Chad. Jimmy Johnson's won 3 races so far this season, and after each of those victories, he has autographed a checkered flag on behalf of Sunoco on NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco. If you want to win one of those flags, visit speedtv.com, keyword Sunoco, to give you all of the necessary information. Let's now go to Wendy Venturini, who is down in the garage area where everything's going on. Wendy?
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Here on pit road. Now, you wouldn't think that a story about bugs would actually make air, and we're talking about it here in Phoenix, but the reason is we have so many gnats that have infested the racetrack this weekend, and it's just because of a little bit extra run, a water runoff that they had from the dam when they opened it up. But it is a concern for the race conditions. If you watched the nationwide race yesterday, you heard several drivers comment on it, including the winner, Kyle Busch. Now, the problem with it was the bugs, especially during the day they're out here, and then at night again, the tear-offs have been the situation in yesterday's race. Every time the cars came down pit road, drivers requested for those tear-offs. There you see them late last night. We're going to go from daytime to nighttime conditions for today's race. So we're going to have pretty much the same situation. So what are teams doing? Well, they're going to be allowed 8th man over the wall, which NASCAR gave that announcement in the drivers' meeting. Keep in mind, these tear-offs, they're already on the windshield. And here on David Rudiman's car, they have 7 tear-offs for the day. There we have, oh, look, there's a gnat on my hand right now. How convenient. So 7 of these tear-offs. We're expecting to have about 4 pit stops, so we probably won't need 7 tear-offs, but if for any reason a car has to come down pit road extra amount of times, we do have the tear-offs because this can cloud your vision, as we've seen, and Kenny Wallace was telling it about it in the nationwide race as well yesterday. So hopefully it won't be an issue. We have these tear-offs. Hermie?
Well, thank you, Wendy. Got a couple of special guests here on race day. First, Carl Edwards. We'll get to him in a second. But special guest, Layla Ali. Number one, thanks for being here at Phoenix. You tell me this is your first race.
Yes, it is, and I'm so excited.
And tell me what your duties are going to be. You're going to get this thing rolling, you tell me.
I'm going to get it started, and I've been working on just the perfect thing to say. I don't have it yet, but when I get out there, I'm going to feel that energy, and it's going to come out right.
Well, when she drops the flag, we'll be looking up for Carl Edwards. Carl, good last couple of weeks for you guys. 2 top 10s coming into Phoenix. I know you want to keep that going.
Yeah, I'm proud to be driving this Subway car, and there's a little extra length to this race, so it's going to be tough. And Bob's up to the challenge. We qualified well, and I love racing here. It's one of my favorite racetracks, so I'm looking forward to the race.
Talk about this racetrack. Very, very slick yesterday. I guess grip's going to be an issue, and would be at the start of the race today. What have you and Bob talked about as far as adjustments to your car as you need it as we get into the night?
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw the difference between practice and qualifying. It's almost a second a lap. So, as the sun goes down, and we're going to deal with that too. We got the windshields all taped up, but when the sun goes down, the track's going to change a lot. And I think that extra 100 kilometers, that's going to just make the track, change that much more as it gets cooler and darker. So it'll be interesting. I don't know how we're going to keep up with it. I hope we can, and I'd love to get a win here.
We look out for Carl Edwards now. You told me the only thing they didn't ask you to do was sing the national anthem, but you said you would give it a shot if they ask you. You think we could do a duet?
Okay, only if you can sing, though. I don't want you to make me sound.
Well, let's give it a shot. You ready? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud?
That's enough.
Oh, take it. She's not happy.
Hey, you know what, Hermie?
You sound pretty good. You surprised me there.
Thank you.
Hermie, if you guys tried that on Fast Track to Fame, it would be Fast Track to Shame, because it just wouldn't work out well at all. We got to take another quick break, but when we come back on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, we'll take you right down into the middle of it all and talk to these drivers before they get ready to jump in their cars and take on 600 kilometers at Phoenix.
We've got a fever, and the only cure is more interviews. Wendy and Hermie flash their skills on the mic to bring your favorite drivers up close and personal. Coming at you, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix International Raceway, where we're getting set for race number 7 of the 2010 Sprint Cup season. And this is against any better judgment we've ever had. But, of course, better judgment has never stopped us from doing anything on this show before. So at this time, we are going to introduce Mr. Kenny Wallace, who is going to sing us a song. Kenny?
We got a couple songs for today's race. We're talking about all these changes, so 2 songs for today. By David Bowie, changes. So we got a lot of changes. And then how about this one, old Charlie Rich? What goes on when the sun goes down? So there you go. That's my entertainment. And I begged the producer, Teddy Lakaitis, I said, Teddy, let me sing my fans a song. So that's old Charlie Rich. What goes on when the sun goes down?
Now, don't confuse that talent with our show Fast Track to Fame on Speed. That is a Fast Track to Shame.
Me a silly Willie.
Here's the deal. He begged Teddy to let him sing, and Teddy let him sing.
They let him do it. Again, better judgment did not prevail here. Let's talk about this race tonight. We got a longer race, an earlier start time, but the end result is going to be the same. Somebody's going to inch all that much closer to claiming a championship because every race counts.
Every race counts to get into the chase, and that's the big deal. And remember, this is a chase race when we come back here, when you get towards the end of the season. So this is an important race at the first of the season. It's also a critical race at the end of the season. And just as you said earlier, we've seen guys sweep these races. If a guy's going to come in here like Mark Martin and turn his season around, this is a place they can do that. This is also a place at the end of the year you can capitalize. So they're taking notes on this race.
Easily one of the best places to be at a racetrack is in victory lane when there's a first-time winner. It happened a lot last year, and we have a shot this year, and especially at this race, of seeing a first-time winner, because when you look at the first 4 starters, these guys have not won a race yet, and if they do, you're going to want to be with us in victory lane.
But there's so many other drivers that have deserved to win this year. You know, you're looking at Dale Jr. running second at Daytona, and then Jeff Gordon barely missing 2 wins. He missed that race at Vegas, and then he almost won at Martinsville. So maybe a first-time winner here tonight.
Let's get you back inside the racetrack and rejoin Mr. Hermie Sadler. Hermie?
Thank you, JR. And I'm going to talk to my brother, Elliott Sadler, career start number 400. Now, I don't know a lot, but I do know you're supposed to be drinking this on TV.
Sorry about that.
So what is this 400 start? I didn't realize you were getting that old.
It don't seem like 400, but seems it's gone by pretty fast. But it is a pretty cool landmark to be able to start my 400th career start today, and got Stanley on board and has a lot of great sponsors, a lot of great team owners, a lot of great teammates in my career. So it's cool to be able to do it today. Be a part of the sport for 12 years, and hopefully we can keep on digging with it.
And we talked about the All-Star race coming up in a couple weeks, and I know you got a couple charities in mind that you're pushing to try to get your get some momentum getting voted into the All-Star race.
Yeah, we definitely want to get voted in the All-Star race, and we were sitting around, and with Memorial Day coming and our new connection that we have with Richard Petty Motorsports, everybody with PVA, we decided to race for the veterans, man. They support our country and defend it each and every day so we can race. So why not give back to them? So everything that we make that night at the All-Star race we're voted in, we'll give back to that charity. Also doing some stuff with John Boy and Billy promoting their charity too. So it's a neat deal, it's fun, it's a fun weekend, and also racing for a good cause.
Well, Elliott Sadler wants to get in that All-Star race, but maybe he can get it by winning this race here today at Phoenix. Wendy?
All right, everybody's been watching Paul Menard this season, and with due justice, because you've been in that top 12, how good do you feel you're going to maintain that top 12 here at Phoenix today?
Our race car is really good. We unloaded, and we haven't done a whole lot to our forward. A few things here and there, but really I screwed up qualifying. We had a good lap going until I got tight, then loose off 4, lost a lot of time. So we'll come from the back, but I think our forward's really good, and well, it's a long race. Obviously, they added extra laps, and as you saw last night, the nationwide race, anything can happen. So keep our nose clean, be there at the end.
How do you think the track is going to change when we get into the night racing?
Well, last night it didn't gain any grip. Normally the sun goes down, you gain a bunch of grip, but it didn't. That wasn't the case last night. It actually got slicker, but balance-wise, it didn't change the balance of the car a whole lot. Just kind of lost overall grip, which I thought was strange, but we learned something from that, and see if it does the same thing tonight.
All right, good luck to Paul Menard. Hermie?
We got Max Pappas. Elliott has start number 400 tonight. What is this for you?
I think it's just a little bit more than 20, like 21, 22, so it's still a long way to go. Let me say hi to my family. We did a great job yesterday in qualifying with the Geico Toyota, and I want to say hi to all the Geico employee out there. Thanks for the support. It's great to be here in Phoenix. It's going to be a very exciting race. And did you see who is in the front row? 4 open wheel guys.
I know. How about that?
Wow, that's pretty. NASCAR is changing. And it's great to see the mix of different characters, different people, and it's great to see that there is still room for people that they're not coming directly from NASCAR, and it gives me hope, just to create my own little space.
I tell you what, Max Pappas is fun to watch, very focused and determined to get this car up front. Wendy?
Well, the drivers are making their way here. It's getting awfully busy. Ryan Newman has a good race car or a great race car. How would you describe your car for today?
I'll be satisfied with good to start, but I would like to have the great to end. We have a good Tornado Chevrolet, I feel, and man, it's going to be unique, I guess, here, starting a little bit earlier and going a little bit longer race-wise, another fuel stop and all that, but we'll see. I think we have a good car.
Now, it looked good in practice. Is this a good chance for you guys to gain some points today, 22nd right now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every chance we get, we try to gain those points, and Phoenix is one of my favorite racetracks, so really look forward to it. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out.
All right, good luck to Ryan Newman. Hermie?
Yeah, thanks. And Champ, 4 out of 5 at this racetrack. What are your chances tonight?
Man, I don't know. Yesterday was pretty exciting for us. I spun once off of 2 and had a real loose car in qualifying, but I think we've got a good idea what was going on. The track's been a little different, I think, for everybody since we've been back, but there's one thing about this race, and we'll never give up, and we'll fight all night long and try to get the best finish possible.
A little bit longer race tonight. Does that affect you one way or the other?
I think it's good for us. The longer the races, the more opportunities we have to work on our car and for myself to get into a rhythm and Chad. So I think that's a good thing for us. Plus, more racing on the West Coast has got to be great for the fans.
And not going to talk about his glasses because his wife is standing behind him and she didn't like it last time I had a comment about his glasses, Wendy.
And Joey Logano has made his way to the stage. Now, Joey, AJ Allmendinger gave me a hard time because I picked you in the category to win the race over him, the pole sitter, obviously. So can you, how does your car feel then? Is it good enough for a victory?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to say here. I mean, it seems like after a nationwide race here, it's going to be a lot different, and the track's going to change a ton throughout the days. But I felt like in practice yesterday, I feel like we were a solid top 10 car on the short and long run. So we'll have to see. Like I said, it's going to change a lot. So I know Zippy and the guys will be working hard. We'll have good stops all day, and hopefully be there when we need to be at the end.
What's the biggest thing you learned from yesterday's nationwide race? It looked like even pit road was tough.
Yeah, it was. No, I think a lot of it just to see which way the track was going to go. It's hard to really transfer a lot of things from the nationwide cars. They're so different. But just to kind of see what direction the track went and how much grip it gained and all that, I think helped out a lot. And, the track kind of widened out a little bit, and I'm sure it's going to widen up a lot more tonight. So we'll see.
All right, congrats on the momentum lately. Let's head over to Hermie.
And Martin Truex in the Napa Toyota Camry. What you got for him tonight?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Hermie. We struggled a little bit throughout practice yesterday. And the track was hot and slick, and Pat and the guys changed a bunch of stuff for qualifying, and it felt pretty good. So not real sure, but Phoenix has been a good place for me. I really enjoy coming out here, and I know my guys will do great on pit road, so looking forward to it.
It looks like right now we've got a shot of your crew guys stretching in the grass over there getting ready for this race tonight. One more quick question. How about that singing you're doing at Napa commercial? That's pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty good. Took a lot of lessons.
Well, I need some of them myself, but that's Martin Truex. Look for him tonight. Wendy?
All right, the drivers coming through for driver intros, and they sign a lot of autographs for charity usually. I'm going to catch up with Jeff Burton. Jeff, I think you are going to be very strong today. How do you feel about it?
Well, I appreciate your confidence. Thank you, Mr. McMurray. Everybody's polite tonight. That'll change here shortly, but I feel pretty good about it. I mean, we weren't quite like we needed to be yesterday, but we've worked really hard, and the guys spent a lot of time last night and this morning thinking about what to do to make the car a little better, and I feel like they have. So we'll see. It's going to be a long race. That extra 60 miles is going to be quite a bit of difference. So hopefully we can be in position and make something happen.
All right, this is where my producer wants me to mention Duke's victory, but because I'm a Carolina grad, I don't know if I could do it.
I know it's hard, but I appreciate your thought anyway.
All right, good luck to Jeff Burton. Johnny, back to you, my friend.
Yeah, we'll leave that subject to a later date. We're talking about racing tonight at the Phoenix International Raceway. Going to start in the sunshine and under the lights. Guys, what do you think we're going to see? Mayhem at the end?
if it's like the first 5 or 6 races this year, mayhem at the end. That's it. But a lot of great racing before you get there. And that's the way Phoenix is.
It's going to get more exciting as the sun goes down. Watch out, baby.
And that's usually the case, and no matter what you're talking about, more exciting as the sun goes down. And we'll have you covered tonight in Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco. We'll have the winner, perhaps a first-time winner, but thanks for coming along for the ride, everyone.